Cool. All right, so picture it. It's 8:45 in the morning and you are heading to work. Now, the trouble on this particular day, let's say it's pre-COVID, by the way, you're working your 9 to 5 grind, let's just say. Now it's 8:45, like I said, we're on the road, we're on the highway. The only problem is you only have 15 minutes left to get somewhere you know is going to take you 20. And when you get to work late for the umpteenth time, you're going to end up with a condescending email or worse, or a dirty look from your boss. Now, as you make your way rushing through traffic to try and get there on time on this particularly unfortunate morning, the driver in front of you hits some road debris and boom, tire explodes. They're sent veering uncontrollably into the concrete barricade of the highway itself. Their vehicle stopped. Smoke, fumes rise from the hood of their car. They're stuck. You're frozen. Now, the first thing any good-natured person will think to themselves is, I should probably stop. I should pull over. I should check to see if they're okay. Or if nothing else, I should probably call for an ambulance or a police officer to come over here to make sure that they're tended to. But sadly, this other part of our brain all too often will come in right after because of a psychological phenomenon called the bystander effect, which basically means the more people that are around to see something horrible happen, the less likely anyone is to do something about it. So like I said, the first thing you think is I should stop and help, but right afterwards you think, I'm one of 7 other drivers. 7 other people saw what I saw, am where I am. I'm sure someone else will stop and help. I'm sure someone else has already called. And then you delude yourself and you say, look, the person in the car is super disoriented, but they have a cell phone. I mean, everybody's got a cell phone. So I'm sure that they already called someone else to come and help them. Look, I've got somewhere I need to be. I have people who count on me. And so you drive away. Scary part is all the other people thought the same thing about you, that you would stop, you would help. So they drive away. And now that person's left alone. I bring up this scenario for 2 reasons. One, because anybody who spent more than 10 hours on the road with a driver's license has seen a stranded motorist and thought, they got it. I'm sure they got it figured out. And the second is because the last 13, 14, going on 15 months of all of this was the closest analogy I could give to what we've all experienced and what so many of us are still experiencing. You see, there we were, just going about our day. And through no fault of our own, the unexpected happened that left us feeling scared, disoriented, alone, confused. Because statistically, just as many people that drive alone live alone. So here we are, each one of us in our own way, stranded on the side of the road, waiting for someone else. But I mean, this situation's nothing new. We're always waiting for someone else, In our relationships, we say, if I was with someone else, I would feel loved and appreciated. At work, if I worked for someone else, I would feel acknowledged and properly compensated. And then politically, we say, I'm sure someone else will right what's been wrong. Someone else will fix what's been broken for far too long. We're always waiting for someone else. Maybe that's why we love these superhero movies and TV shows, can't get enough of them. During a pandemic, there's a movie about a superhero and so many more just waiting to fill the theaters once they fully open. We love the idea of someone coming to the rescue, and yet everyone sees us as that very person. It's my personal belief that the numerous people who have died in hospitals throughout all this, that their deaths had very little to do with what the virus was doing to their body and a hell of a lot more to do with what loneliness was doing to their spirit. It's hard. It's hard to fight a battle of any size on any land if you haven't seen who or what you're fighting for in days, if not weeks. But here we are, in a world where you do not need flight, strength, or speed to save a life. You need only a cell phone and some spare time to call someone else, to let them know that someone else is thinking of them, someone else cares, someone else is experiencing to some degree what they are. For someone else to call them, ask them, hey, how are you doing? And give them the time and the space it takes for them to figure out how to even answer that question. I don't mean to be somber, but they love to talk about how many people have died from COVID. What they don't talk about is how many people have died from suicide. Every 18 seconds, someone ends their own life because they felt alone. And all they needed to know was that someone else feels alone too. The irony of it all, and yet the beauty of a comforting voice and what it can do. The world is waiting for someone else. But luckily, that someone else is you. Thank you.